Alright guys, here we are with our next war recap. As you can see, there is still an hour and 11 minutes left in this attack. We have 2 attacks remaining. They have a bunch, but they don't have very many high-level attacks left. They got a 6, and they got 2 10s, 2 12s, and they have a lot to clean up on our side. So I really don't see them coming back in this last hour. If that happens, I will let you know in the next recap. But I got some shit I gotta do, and I just don't have time to sit around and wait for the end of this war to make a recap. So I'm gonna do it right now and go ahead and claim our victory before it's over, because it's always worked out for everyone in the past, right? Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into the attacks. Let's see who's got attacks left. We got Mr. Sir Comes-A-Lot and Mordecai. So hopefully those guys get their attacks in soon. But for the most part, all of our attacks are done. Only a couple of bases that we didn't clean off on theirs. Unfortunately, we kind of sucked up top this war. Good job to Han picking up a star on that 11, and then on their top Town Hall 10, I only managed 1 star. It wasn't very nice. And then again, Han with the 2-star on their other Town Hall 10. So good job to Han stepping up when I kind of sucked. All right, let's go down and let's start at the bottom per usual. We're going to start with number 27, and we're going to watch Hateman, who is relatively new to Clash Holes. Oh, excuse me, Clash Holes. Wow. That was a freaking brain freeze right there. Relatively new to Chaos Hammer. Sorry, I just saw an autopilot or something. Anyways, he is going to do a very nice Go-Va-Ho here. So he gets the easy lure with the easy single troop lure, and the poison takes those down. Goes ahead with the double. And then he puts an archer on the corners, just so you don't have to come back and double up for that. Drops in 4 giants to tank for those hogs, and then kind of just sprinkles in the whole side. Not quite an Asian wall, not enough for that, but sprinkles in this whole side of hogs, and those hogs take down several defenses without taking any hits because of the in go the Valks and the King, and they take out what's left. And I kind of thought that he would have wall breakers for the second level, but I guess it doesn't really matter because the Valks are going to beat through without too much of a problem. Drops a core heal for the Valks. As you can see, this base is already basically half destroyed and still has a bunch of hogs left. Well, here they come. They come out on the backside, basically in the corners. Has 2 heals left in the bag, which is really nice. Drops them both, keeps basically all of his hogs at full health. Does catch a great bomb on the outside and another one on the inside, but the inside one is basically under heal already, and the outside one was just a glancing blow. Those hogs rip through and finish off that last cannon, and now it is just cleanup. Still has hogs, archers, king, a couple of wizards, and those Valks, so plenty of troops to get that cleanup done. Very nicely done, Hateman. Welcome to Chaos Hammer. Alright, let's move up a couple. Actually, let's just move up 1, and we are going to look at Rook doing a Go-Va-Lo. I liked this tactic a lot. As you can see, he's got the Quakes and 2 heals. That is one benefit of Go-Va-Lo compared to Go-Va-Ho. I like them both, but usually with Go-Va-Ho, you have to pick and choose where you're going to use your heal spells because you want them for your Valks and you want them for your hogs. But with Go-Va-Lo, heals on balloons are pretty much worthless. So you have 2 dedicated heal spells for your Valks, which is really nice with the right base layout. So as you can see here, pulls out that clan castle, old school kill with the barbs and the whizzes. Could have maybe dropped another barb or 2 over here, saved a couple of those whizzes, but doesn't matter. Drops in the golem to start tanking, Could have waited another second on those wizards because that cannon was in range and took out one or two of his wizards. In come the wall breakers to finish that wall off, but they fail with the mortar timing. It doesn't matter, that golem will finish breaking through. In come the Valks and the Clan Castle Valks to make their way through that hole, and they are in the core. As you see, the Quakes here opened up the center very nicely, and those Teslas, as they pop, pull those Valks right into the middle, drops a heal spell for them, so there's very little risk for those tanky Valks. Plus you have a golem in there and the king. Second heal spell, 2 air defenses down. Third one is going to happen in just a moment, and already surrounding the base with balloons. Tons of balloons, basically targeting every single defense individually, and just absolutely demolishes this base. Has this one wizard tower up here, which could be a risk if all these balloons were to bunch up, but those top 2 balloons took it out before that became a risk. And so now you have a pack of 30 balloons right there just doing cleanup. You got your Valks on the outside, you got a couple of wizards down bottom, and then an archer, barb, and a wizard up top, just finishing off that cleanup. Very nicely done, Rook. Alright, let's move up. We actually have we have 3 Town Hall 8 attacks for you. Actually, I did an extra one by accident, but I'm sure you guys don't mind. Alright, this is Ari, aka Jojo, and this is an attack that her and I came up with together for this base, which worked out really nicely. And I wanted to cover it because it's a little bit unusual. The idea here, Clan Castle pull, old school kill, but Quake, the second level, which is kind of weird, but you get a path coming from the left and from the right coming down into there. So what she's going to do after she gets these dragons, this dragon killed from those wizards, she's going to drop a golem for that cannon and one for that cannon, and then Valks and the king at 6 o'clock, and they're going to work their way north. A couple of minions on the side to clean up trash buildings, work on some funneling, make sure you don't have any wandering. But the design of this base makes a pretty natural funnel right straight up from the gut because of the way these buildings are laid out. So drops in the king. I'm not really sure why it was way over here, but drops in the king, which luckily goes right to the middle. And wall breakers break in that first level. In come the Valks, which aggro right to that cannon, which is real nice. Those golems are still doing a ton of tanking, and they work their way north, which is, I actually thought they were going to work their way south when we first talked about this plan, but working their way north really worked out because now you have almost complete base coverage of tanking. So only a couple balloons for the top side, but that's all you need because those tanks, or those golems, took out the stuff on the sides. Those Valks and the king are going to have no problem just clearing out that core. And then once all that's done, all that's left is 1 archer tower and 1 cannon on each side. So 5 balloons for those 3 buildings is plenty. Drops 2 balloons on this archer tower while it's distracted, which was genius. And then 1 balloon on the cannon on the right. And there should be another one coming for the cannon on the left. Actually, I think she lets... Yeah, there we go. And unfortunately, those Valks decided not to take down that last air defense. I'm not really sure why, but doesn't matter. It's still up, and it's going to get some work done on those balloons. But that's fine because there are no ground shooting defenses left. So it's basically just cleanup. Those Valks finally get on that air defense, taking their sweet time. But they get the job done. King up, wizards all over the place. Beautifully done. Nice 3-star Jojo. All right, let's move up to number 8. Here we got Bruce Lee. He has a very nice Queen Walk Go-Ho. And I wanted to show this because it's a really unusual base. And, I mean, if it was unlimited time, you could Queen Walk this base, and that's it. Nothing else. It's this base has Queen Walk written all over it. So I like that Bruce Lee decided to Queen Walk it. He does have a level 19 queen, which is high enough to do queen walks, especially if they're not really long queen walks with multiple point defenses. But the way this base is laid out, he's basically never going to encounter more than 1 point defense at a time. So there's very little risk to a queen walk on this base. Queen walk Goho, so drops in his golem from the north. His goal here is to get to that queen. Has his wizards making some funneling, and his king working his way down. Should aggro to that queen in just a moment. Look at this jump spell. It is perfectly placed to get from the outside to the core, one tile in either direction, and it would not have worked. He dropped that spectacularly. The crossbows are shooting, and that is really the only risk, because they're both pointing down to this queen walk, is that if they both get on her, being level 19, she might have to use a rage or something like that. Gets a golem into the core, and but none of the other kill squad troops made it that far. But it's kind of nice because it is tanking for this crossbow, which is saving his hogs and his queen walk. His queen is getting low, has to use her ability, and the hogs are working their way around the ring. A couple of them peel off and get into the core, which is really nice, while most of the tanking is still happening from the golems. Still has a few hogs down south and a bunch in the core. Drops, was that a rage for the hogs? That's nice. Had that rage for his queen walk, I assume, and didn't need it, so decided to use it on the hogs, which was pretty genius. And the hogs are ripping through, getting down to this last wizard tower. And then it is just cleanup. There is a hound and a king chasing them around, but it doesn't matter. That hound is basically worthless, and that king might take off a couple. But seeing as how all that's left is that town hall, which is about to fall, and the queen can do all the rest of the cleanup on her own. The hogs do take out that king, and they do come help with the cleanup. But it was a really nice plan. The queen walk was beautiful, and just all in all, a very nice attack, Mr. Bruce Lee. So keep up that good work. All right, we're going to move up a couple to KC Masterpiece, taking on number 6, I believe it was. And he has a Govaho on this 9.5. Let's see. All right, starts in from the northeast. Puts a golem down and a couple of wizards for funnel, and then mirrors that on the northwest with the queen right in the middle. Want to make a nice wide funnel for these Valks. Makes his hole with the wall breakers. You will see Valks coming in here shortly. There goes the king, and here come the Valks. 2 test Valks just to make sure, and then immediately behind the rest of the Valks. So everything is in the core, and a jump spell right over that Dark Elixir Collector. That opens up both of these compartments and the Town Hall as well, and that Queen should jump out. Do have a Hound in the Clan Castle, but that is going to be relatively unimportant unless the Queen gets stuck on it, which it's going to in just a second. There we go. Now she's stuck on that Hound. But other than that, doesn't really matter. They'll clean up those pups real quick, and then the hogs will come in just a second. Pretty patient on these hogs. I might have done the hogs just a little bit quicker while you still had all the extra tanking in the core. You do still have a Golemite tanking for that crossbow, so that is nice, but that is going to pop in just a second. Hogs are doing work. Still got plenty of hogs. 2 still left in the bag. Got 2 separate groups of hogs taking down these high hit point buildings. There comes the wizard tower and the heal for this bottom group of hogs. Top group of hogs is still in a heal, and only a couple of defenses left. Still has the queen up and her ability. Has wizards over on the left side. The hogs are polishing off this right side, and they will get on the cleanup here in just a second. And that is that. Pops that queen ability just because, save a little bit of her health, and gets the very nice 3-star. Good job, KC. All right, we have one more for you. I know this is kind of long. mostly because I covered an extra attack by accident. But our last attack is number 5, MGS. Starting to see MGS in every war recap because he has a monster attack, seems like, every war. So good job to MGS just in general, and again on this attack. Drops in Wizard Minion, starts making that funnel. He's going to get his Queen Walk going. Want her to travel south. A couple of minions on the backside for some free buildings and funneling, and it's nice because these high hit point buildings can take a while to eat your way through, so get those minions on them nice and early. While the queen is doing her walk, you got to wait for that anyways. That minion up top is still working on some buildings, taking down some free percentage points. All that is going to speed up the attack later as the kill squad starts to make their way. Unfortunately, this air defense starts attacking the healers pretty quickly, so the Queen Walk kind of gets into a little bit of trouble. He does drop a couple of hogs for this air defense, but maybe could have dropped them a little bit earlier and saved those healers. Those healers do die. That air defense doesn't quite go down. Just too much defense coming at those healers all at once, and then that queen gets stuck on that hound, so this Queen Walk is over. But doesn't matter. Doesn't get quite as far as he was hoping, and doesn't get either of these air defenses, which I think was his original plan. I don't know if he noticed there is a space there, which puts them too far back, and it's too far back from that side for either of those air defenses to be targeted from the queen. So I'm not really sure what his plan was there for that Queen Walk. Does get a lot of percentage point, probably about 30% for just a Queen Walk, but does not get the... Oh, I don't know why I'm talking about air defenses. For whatever reason, I thought this was a air attack, but it is a hog attack, so those air defenses don't matter. Ignore everything I just said. It's been a long day. All right. Anyways, as you guys can see, have that jump, and the Golem King combination is up there working on those pockets up top, while the hogs are making their way to the core. Got a heal spell down, so those hogs can take down those crossbows with minimal distraction. Another heal spell for the hogs. Basically have all of their hogs in the heal spell right now. Does make bacon with a couple of hogs, but because you came at it from all different angles, most of them survived, and as they leave this heal spell at 100% health, there is only 2 defenses left, which they finish off. Now that hound did finally just now pop, and there is not much to work on killing that hound. All you got there is hogs and a king, but he does drop that poison spell, taking down several of the pups, and that's really smart that he did that, because if not, there would be probably 3 times as many pups, and this might have been a failed attack. Not really sure. A lot of hogs left to take down, so they might have still gotten it, but it would have been really, really close. As it was, he got through the rest of the buildings before those pups could finish him off. So in my opinion, that poison at the last minute is what saved this attack. So really good job thinking on your feet, MGS. Keep up the awesome attacks. You are doing fantastic. All right, that is it for this war recap. Let's see if we missed anything while we were talking. Mostly all just defenses. They're actually kind of sort of making a comeback. But, you know, they have a long way to go and not very many high-level attacks. So I'm still calling it as a win. Hopefully I'm not wrong. If I am, the guys at Hammer are going to kill me for counting my eggs before they hatch. But, oh well. Ha! Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Check out the official Chaos Hammer YouTube page for the sister recaps to all of these Chaos Hammer recaps as run by Jojo. And I will see you guys soon. Good luck out there.